This is going to be one of the most spectacular shows of 2018. What is it? It's the Pageant Show! And now we have 11-year-old Eloise Joseph from Northwest London. And you are a talent winner. Tell me, what is your talent?
Well, I sing.
Okay, and what type of things do you like singing?
I'm into like musical theatre and stuff like that.
And why do you like that? You know, because normally your age it's boy bands and so forth. So what do you really like about musical theatre?
Well, that's a good question. I like musical theatre because you can perform, you can show people your personality while you're singing and while you're performing to the audience.
Okay, so you've sung from Oliver, is that right at one stage?
Olivia, so it's a musical we performed in our school, and it was Oliver and Annie and all the musicals put together.
Okay, well I remember Oliver. In fact, I worked with Lionel Bart who produced the musical in the first place. But I also understand you do a lot of charity work, so you're doing things like donating clothes to local charities?
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about that.
Well, me and my family, we feel that it's good to give back, give to charities and donate stuff so they're as happy as we are.
And you've helped a girl from a local primary school for her drama performance as well, I understand. Tell me a little bit about that.
Well, there's a girl called Samaya, and she was really struggling doing a drama performance because I'm a drama scholar, so I got into my school during a drama scholarship. So I helped her with her audition so she can succeed and she can feel like I feel if she gets it.
And I also understand you've written your own monologue based on a fairy tale. Just tell me a little bit about the fairy tale.
Well, for the audition you had to perform your own monologue, so I decided to write a monologue for Goldilocks, so I put my own twist on it, a modern twist on it, and I performed it for my audition.
So what was the twist that you put onto it?
Well, I said that the reason Goldilocks went into Baby Bear's house is because he broke her iPhone. So she was very mad about that because it kind of like relates to us right now.
Okay. So you won Junior Miss British Empire Talent Award. Tell me, how did that feel when you won it?
Well, it was actually amazing because it was my first pageant and I didn't really expect to win an award. I thought I would just go there, have fun, and yeah, it was really good.
And what do you think you'd get out of entering pageants?
Well, it just brings out my confidence because when I was little I wasn't as confident as I am right now. I was very shy, and this pageant has brought out my confidence more, and yeah.
And that's good. And how do you see your future? Where do you want to be? What ambitions do you have?
Well, I feel really strongly about performing, the performing arts kind of area. So I really like acting and performing to people and entertaining people. And that's what I see myself in the future.
Excellent, Eloise. Thank you so much for today.
Thank you.
So now we're talking to 12-year-old Abigail Dunford from Weymouth in Dorset. And I understand you are another musical theatre person. You like musical theatre. Tell me, why do you like this?
I just think I like singing, acting and dancing. And I go to a theatre school in London.
Which theatre school do you go to in London?
West End Musical Theatre.
And what do you think this gives to you, to a young girl like yourself as well?
A lot of opportunities. I recently met the musical director of Hamilton. They give you, and Gary Wilmot. So they give you a lot of opportunities.
And he's a very nice guy, isn't he, Gary Wilmot?
Yes.
I've worked with him myself as well. What do you think is your future? Where do you see your future?
Well, one thing I really want to be is on the front cover of Vogue, and I want to be on the West End stage and travelling around the world.
Okay. And what type of things do you see yourself doing in the future? Okay, you've got a cover photograph of Vogue. That's a great ambition in its own right. But what type of work would you like to be doing? What type of musicals do you want to do?
Well, I like Legally Blonde, and I'd love to be Elle one day, but yeah. I love relatable musical theatre, like productions, because then you can really get into the character more. And
do you think it helps your confidence with all this as well? You know, is it for your age, would you say that it's a great way of gaining extra confidence for a young girl?
Yeah, because obviously you care what people think about you a lot, so you kind of just want as much confidence as you can get at this age, really.
And with all this confidence as well, do you find at times that when you're telling friends about it or other people about it, sometimes that you can they might wonder why they can't do it, and do they get a bit jealous, or how do you find that?
Most of my friends are really supportive about it. Mostly it's the boys taking the mickey about it all, but you just kind of...
And how do you handle that?
Tell them to go away. You don't really listen to them, because as long as you've got friends that really care about it, then it doesn't really matter.
And recently you did the Hamilton, the London Theatre School. How do you find all the travel all the time? Because it's quite travel consuming, isn't it? Coming from Dorset to London and back. So what's a day's routine when you're at the London school?
So you get up very early, and then we have to get on a train, and it takes about, depending on what train you get really, it takes about 3.5 hours to 4 hours, and then we got to go on 2 tubes and then walk across the Seven Sisters Road all the way to the end where Monkey Studios is, and then we go there, go to 3 hours, usually go back and get a bagel, and then get back on the train.
And you look so slim, but you eat bagels.
Yeah.
What's your favourite food?
Probably jack of potato with tuna, cheese, beans and butter.
Right. Very nourishing indeed. And I gather you won the Miss Junior British Empire. What did it feel like to win that award?
Well, I did it 2 years ago with Hallie Blue, and I really looked up to her, and she gave me a lot more confidence and really aspired to do what she did. And so I came runner-up, and then I came back 2 years later, and it just felt really good.
You won it. Yeah. So would you like to win more things?
Yes.
What feeling does it give you when you win something?
It's like that really tingly feeling in your belly, and you don't realise it's going to be you, because you look at other people and think, yeah, it's going to be them, and then when they say your name, it just feels really...
Excellent. Well, I'm sure you're going to be winning a lot more things. Abigail, thank you so much for your time today. Okay, so now we have 13-year-old Chloe Dixon, who's come all the way from West Bromwich today, an area I know quite well as well. I actually trained in Wednesbury Further College of Education, so not far away. Catwalk and dancing. Tell me a little bit about the types of things that you do at the moment.
I do pageants and aerial circus.
Do you? So tell me, what is aerial circus?
So you see people with the silks hanging from like the ceiling and stuff, and they dance all in the silks and the hoops and things. So that's what I do.
And you've got this desire to have dangerous pursuits, have you?
Yeah.
How hard is it to actually sort of learn something like this?
You need like a lot of strength to hold yourself up and things like that.
So is it core strength? Is it arm strength?
It's arms and like belly and things. So.
And do you, apart from sort of actually learning these skills, do you do a lot of weight training, or is there other things as well to actually sort of, like gymnastics? How do you get
I just do aerial circus because sometimes it's hard to get me out of my bed.
I see. Right. Okay. And we'll move swiftly onwards from that one. So when I understand as well that you mentor and you talk a lot about bullying.
Mhm.
So have you been bullied yourself?
I did have previous experience of bullying. About 2 months ago, I was bricked in the face by a boy that I didn't even know, and he split all my lip open and cracked my tooth.
And why? I mean, was it down to jealousy about? Do you talk about the types of things that you do? And was that the cause of it? Or what
I
do you
tell
think?
a lot of people at my school about the things that I do, but they don't really say things like, "Are you like, just that." Some people are supportive about it.
Yeah. Why do you think some people are negative these
Because
days?
like they don't like other people being better than them and like saying, "Oh, you've got more money than me and you've got better looks than me," and things like that.
Do you think you're ambitious? Are you ambitious enough to sort of move forward? And what type of things would you like to do?
I'd like to do things like pageants, and I'd like to go around giving people speeches about bullying and just things like that.
And what do you think pageants bring to you? What type of opportunities and when you're winning something or when you're participating in something, how do you feel?
It feels quite exciting because you meet new people, you meet people that you've already met before, and it's just like one big family in like the pageant industry and things.
And where, as I say, you obviously want to sort of talk about this in the future, but is it a career? Because I understand as well you might like to do some teaching as well. Would you like to sort of teach at some time?
I do teaching as like my main job, and then probably on the weekends I go to like a pageant or things.
Okay. Thank you so much for your time today.
Okay.
Hi, my name is Alice Daimova and I'm 21 years old.
On your publicity notes, it says that you love singing Fly Me to the Moon. What is so special about that?
Well, actually, it was my flatmate's favourite song, and he kind of forced me to like it because he kept putting it on repeat. And so by the end, I knew every single word to the song, and now when people ask me what's my favourite song, it's Fly Me to the Moon. And I actually really like old music, so like La Vie en Rose and the French song Ne me quitte pas. Like the old jazz is just so heartfelt, and it's so real, not like the modern music, which is rap about girls and money and power. I love all the slow jazz that you actually feel every single instrument, and it's nice to dance to when you're by yourself in the room.
Absolutely. What brought you from Russia?
So I was actually originally born in Dublin.
Okay.
Somehow my parents ended up there when my mom decided to give birth to me. I don't know how, but
Okay.
thank God to my mom, I don't need a visa anywhere because I now have an Irish passport.
Okay.
And so when I moved to Russia, I was just really wasn't fitting in with the Russian kids. I kept being bullied and picked on, and I've switched so many schools, and by the end my parents were like, you know what, just go back to the UK and you'll be happy. And so at the age of 10 I was sent to a boarding school in Tetbury in Gloucestershire. And that's when I kind of felt more comfortable in my zone, and I started to make more friends, and my English became better than my Russian. So whenever I go back to Moscow, I struggle to speak Russian, which is very embarrassing, but it's worth it.
And I gathered you might have gone through a period where you actually and now inspire people about depression. What type of things did you find difficult at one time?
There was a time when you start to grow up, of course you change, your personality changes, the view on life changes, and majority of people just decided not to accept me for who I am and what my views are. And coming from an Eastern European country where people can be quite racist and homophobic, and it wasn't nice to be picked on. And then the only person who I could go to was my father, who really understood me. And I used to speak to him a lot, and he used to come visit me in London. And then at the age of 18, he passed away in a freak accident, which no one saw coming, and it really affected me as he was my everything at that point, and I just said there is no point in me being alive anymore. And there was a time where I just said, no, I don't want to do this anymore. But then I got up and I continued fighting for what I believed in, for my future career, inspiring my younger siblings. And I had a friend by my side whose name was Ebony, and she kept feeding so much positivity in me, and she kept motivating me with the happiness, and I was blinded by that happiness until January this year, where I was told that she committed suicide. I was blinded by that fake happiness that she was trying to help me get through tough time, and I was so upset with myself that I was so selfish of saying, oh, I'm not okay, can I get more of your happiness? And then I was too carried away in my own world and ask her how she was doing. So I want to inspire kids saying it's okay not to be okay. You don't have to keep being happy and faking it and, you know, trying to inspire the people. You need that time when you go up to someone and you say, I'm not okay, can I just cry into your shoulder? Can I speak to you? Can we watch a movie together? Because I don't want anyone else to end up in that situation like my friend, when no one would listen to her because she was so happy. Like one of our friends just now said that you never know what's behind like their smile. You never know what's eating them up inside. And that's why I want to go around school saying, first of all, words hurt. So bullying is horrendous. That's the start of the young depression, because words can hurt more than the broken bones. So I want to end bullying. Even though it's such an impossible thing to do to end bullying, but I want to start working on it, and I want to use my pageant platform to tell kids, stop it, you have to support everyone, you have to ask if they're okay, if they're not okay, give them a hug, give them a cup of tea, make sure they're okay. And the main person I want to inspire is my younger brother, who actually was there when my father passed away, and he saw everything. And since then he was bullied in school because, like, you know, kids can be cruel, and my brother was picked on by saying, you don't have a dad, you don't have a say in this. And when I hear this, I actually want to burst into the school, and I want to shout at every single one of them, being like, how could you be any more selfish than that? And yeah, so that's the thing I want to talk to, and I am actually planning to go around schools in the UK and Scotland and talk about it.
How do you think pageants help in sort of giving you the inspiration as well? Do you think it's a good thing for young people of your age group to be competing in pageants?
It is a very strong confidence booster. Like I said, when I went through a very tough time, I only got better in June, and Miss British Empire was actually my comeback, and it was so amazing to be back on stage and being interviewed on stage and meeting so many people. I was actually so overwhelmed by meeting so many people, because I was so isolated from the world, and then coming in and being welcomed by such amazing and talented people. I think pageants, it is the best place to make friends, network, build up your confidence, learn so much. I've learned so much about myself during this pageant. I'm actually quite surprised. And that's why I think pageants is actually very good to kind of find out more about yourself and bring up your confidence.
Alice, thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you so much.
Talk to Shivani Joshi, 19, from Brighton, and 19-year-old Maya Villan, who originally came from the Philippines. So welcome, ladies. It looks like you've travelled a long way today, even today, to actually get here. Tell me, first of all, Shivani, a little bit about what you do at the moment. I know you've won Miss British Empire Brighton. So tell me a little bit about why did you enter a competition like this?
I entered this competition to gain opportunities and turn my strengths into, like, even gain more strengths, and turn my weaknesses into strengths.
Okay, Shivani, can I ask you, what type of values does entering a pageant give to you? What type of things do you find helps you in your life?
You can gain a lot of skills from it. So when I mean skills, it gives you more practice on how to be on stage.
And what did you want to do yourself? What's the dream? What's the aspiration?
My dream is to become Miss Universe.
Okay. Why? What drives you to sort of want to do something like that?
I like to help a lot of people around the world and do a lot of charity for them. And therefore, and I love promoting like pageants.
Tell me a little bit about your costume as well. It's a beautiful costume that you're wearing today. So is it traditional costume?
Yes, so it's a traditional sari, which is worn in India. And as for today, it is Diwali, the Festival of Lights. So it's Christmas for us today. So I just thought, why not dress up?
Absolutely, and it looks wonderful. And Mia, tell me a little bit about yourself as well. So obviously you haven't come from the Philippines today. And I'm a great lover of Filipino people. I've been to the island several times myself, and I used to work with the Philippine Island Connection. So tell me, as a Filipino, what do you think the values are for a young lady like yourself to enter a competition?
With this competition in particular, I feel that it includes loads of different countries because people from Australia came over, so I felt that this is quite a diverse competition and it would bring more people in from different backgrounds, so it gives more opportunities for more different people.
I'm a great lover of things like X Factor. All the Filipino contestants seem to have this incredible angelic quality to them where they can sing their heart out, and the whole of the country backs them as well. What do you think is the type of qualities that Filipinos have that seem to have that type of theatrical singing magic?
I think that Filipinos are quite enthusiastic and quite excited with every opportunity that they get, so I feel that they bring their excitement with anything they do, so that's probably why they're quite successful in some things that they do.
Because I know, I used to travel around the world, and the Filipinos are right across the world. They are global travellers as well. What brought you to Britain?
My parents first came here just because of the job opportunities and obviously because of the tourism. Even though UK is quite small, it actually has a lot more diversity and lots more culture than other countries which are bigger. So we felt that was a good reason to come.
So what's your dream?
I actually would love to pursue an acting career, and I felt that this is a good platform to use to help you get into that.
I know, because there's lots of different things. I mean, when I first started working with the Philippines, it was Miss Saigon, and the guy who originally started off Miss Saigon started a school in Manila as well, because he needed so many of Filipino-style children who could just sing. Is it a natural thing, do you think, with Filipinos? Do they just love performing?
I think they love just helping people and making people happy. You get loads of Filipino nurses like my mom, so they're quite a people kind of country. They love working with people, whether it's entertainment or nursing. So. And
are there any types of parts that you would like to be as an actress? Any types of things that you fancy doing?
Well, I'm currently like a supporting artist in a Bollywood movie that's being shot, and I've done short films where I'm like the lead role in it. So I feel that that's something I really enjoy, and I would look forward to doing more of that in the future.
And Shafani, how about yourself? Does film work?
I haven't really thought about film work, and what I have definitely thought about is to be successful in any career option. I would like to become a lawyer, and then hopefully, fingers crossed, a supreme judge after a lot of experience. But pageant is mainly more of a hobby for me than films.
And as I say, what really inspires you in pageants? What's the thing that you really enjoy about them?
Just the lot of work and the hard work that's been put into it. So from charity work to a lot of catwalk practice, and to actually represent your hometown or your country.
Ladies, that's been fabulous talking to you. Thank you so much.
So I wanted to take a few moments to talk about the different attire that you would potentially wear as a contestant on stage and also in the preparation for pageants. I wanted to start by inviting to join me the lovely Hannah, and today we've tried to set an example dressing in an appropriate wear that would normally be expected to be seen in a pageant interview. Could you perhaps add a little bit to that, Hannah?
Well, what I'm wearing today is very typical pageant interview, usually off the shoulder, some kind of form-fitting tight dress, usually what you'd wear maybe in a professional interview for a job, but minus the jacket. So I keep it clean, simple, block colours, and quite structured, because ultimately you are interviewing for a job of the Queen, so you know, the Queen of that particular pageant system. So it's important to look professional and clean and polished.
Professional with an edge of glitz, as
Yes.
Hannah demonstrates beautifully
Or with the earrings. I have some beautiful earring envy earrings, so glamour always goes a long way, yes.
Perfect. And on stage, there's a conception that the contestants are encouraged to spend an awful lot of money on gowns, which isn't always the case, and we're going to take a moment just to show a more affordable approach to pageant wear. So our two beautiful models today are actually wearing an example of two pre-loved gowns available at Bedazzled Boutique. And to start with, Shivani is actually wearing a pre-loved gown. If you could step forward and give us a small twirl. And the pre-loved evening gown is priced at only £20. Hannah, as a professional pageant judge, how would you critique this dress on stage?
I'd say it will show up really well on stage actually. It has a lovely detail around the bust here. It's very simple, very elegant. Strapless always looks fantastic on stage, and especially with that necklace, I think it's a really simple, classy evening wear dress, especially if you're just starting off in pageants and want to kind of get a feel for the, you know, your wardrobe and everything. I'd say it's a really lovely first evening gown choice.
Perfect, thank you very much. And Alice, if you could step forward. So Alice is also wearing a pre-loved gown, and the particular style of this gown is very popular because of the jams and because of the fishtail detail towards the bottom. However, this gown that would be usually costing rather a lot of money if you was buying designer new, this gown pre-loved would cost you £150. Once again, if Alice could give us a demonstration, and as our professional critique, we'll have some words from Hannah.
I'd say this dress is gorgeous, it's lovely. I love the detailing all the way down the front, especially under really lovely stage lights. It will really glimmer and shimmer. I love the detailing at the back, the fishtail, like Juliana said, it's a very popular shape which shows off your curves. So our model has got a lovely figure here, so it really shows off your, you know, your waist and your form. I think it's a fantastic dress. I think it's a really, it's a step up from the beginner's dress, but it's also very affordable. Nice bright colour, lots of sequins, lots of detail, and all you have to do is carry it off with a smile. So I think it's a lovely dress.
Perfect, thank you very much. So finally, we just have two gowns to demonstrate. If you are buying new, again, it doesn't mean that you are having to pay into the hundreds. So the first gown, royal blue, which is particularly popular this pageant season, the royal blue shade. And this gown, quite simple to the front, very figure hugging, lace detail, and the bow dropped back. This gown, brand new, would cost £75. And Hannah will demonstrate.
This dress is beautifully embellished. Again, it's a little more, you know, in jewelled, encrusted than the other one. I think it's very nice, again, on stage under sheer lights, because this sheer material here, from a distance, won't necessarily show up. So it will give you a lovely pattern across your bust. Down the back, it's got beautiful crystals, and again, I think it's got a small train. So this one's a lot more detailed, probably for suitable for a higher level system, but again, very affordable, beautiful detailing, lovely crystals, and I think it's a beautiful evening gown.
Thank you very much, Hannah, and thank you, ladies.
And what another fabulous show this week. I hope you've enjoyed yourselves. Look at all these wonderful ladies and gentlemen here today, all teaching you different things. Keep watching the show, and it's bye for now.
Bye.
Bye.